So now let's talk a little bit about the user interface and the experience of working in both of the different applications. I'm in Zapier right now and I'm looking at an automation, and you can see that it's a very straightforward process to build out an automation. We have step number 1, step number 2, and step number 3, and step number 4. And so what you see, it's a very linear and simple approach. We have one zap that leads into the next, and it's very easy to understand what's happening. If you click into a step, then it's going to show you the information about that step on the right. And then in each step, you'll be able to build on the previous, and you'll be able to use any information that came from the previous step. So you can see here, I have a zap here that's uploading a file to Google Drive, and it's using information that we passed in from the webhook in step number 1, and so on. If I go into step number 3, you can see I'm using information that was given in step number 2. And then in step number 4, I'm updating a row in Airtable, and it's using information that came from step number 2 and step number 3. So you can see it's a very simple and straightforward user interface, and it's great for beginners. I still like the interface myself. Now, when you jump into make.com, you're going to find that it's a lot more visual and you can really see the flow. And so you'll see these more dynamic automations and flows that have multiple branches. It's quite common to see this in make.com. This is a router that lets you build out different branches to different automations. Now, branches are possible in Zapier. You can create a similar functionality. They are called paths. You can see them here. And what you're going to see is it looks something like this, where it's branching off, but it's definitely not as intuitive as it is in make.com, and it's definitely not as simple to implement. You can only have a path as the last step in your automation. So if you have a situation like this where you need multiple routers in order to make multiple branches throughout your automation, doing that in Zapier isn't going to work as nicely. As well as you can see, if you start to have multiple paths, let's say you have 4 or 5 or 6, it starts to get a little overwhelming in terms of how this looks and how it's managed. But in make.com, this is actually quite simple to do. You can add multiple branches and it becomes quite easy to manage. And they also have this cool button here that auto aligns everything. Once things get a little bit messy, you can always hit this button here and everything just gets built out again for you.